Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 3rd of April. Starting off with the S&P, and we're still trying to work out whether this is a falling wedge or just a progress within a widening rising trend channel. Obviously, the trend channel there since October, so obviously whatever happens now, it's been a great run. The current situation, if you focus in, is that we're still above recent support for this market, and the last support area basically back in March around the 5100 level. Currently the support area at that October uptrend line, so basically towards the 5180 area, and while we're above that, still looking for progress towards the October resistance line projection 5330 as soon as the end of this month. If we do break down, then 5100 and then the 50-day moving average at 5070 would be the targets on the downside. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here also a victim of the latest slight sort of quibbles regarding the Fed and interest rates. Here you can see that we've broken down below that uptrend line that we had there from October. Next level down, probably the 50-day moving average at 18,800, and that also ties in with the support during the early part of March. If we do break higher, then we're still looking for that September resistance line projection, currently pointing to as high as 18,800 by the end of this month, but really in a range between that 50-day line and that September resistance line projection. Moving along to the stocks, and starting off with Ashford, and here got a picture which is relatively simple in terms of at least the gap through the 50-day moving average. That takes us back to where we were basically back in December, around the $4.50 mark, and looking for as high as $6.30 by the end of this month, while we remain above the initial January resistance around $3.80. Next up is critical metal, and here a decent picture in terms of the I suppose it's sort of like a W-shaped reversal, just breaking the neckline resistance there around 1360. If we can, with that end of day close that we've had, we can look forward to a retest of as high as $22 as soon as the end of this month, especially while we remain on the right side of $12. Next up is another stock which hopefully will provide some excitement in a slightly less sizzling market, and comes in the form of the CVD equipment company and corporation rather, and here breaking recent resistance, broke that resistance line there from back in December. It's taken sort of the best part of 4 months to actually break higher. Recent resistance around the neckline resistance around $5.20. Above that, we're looking for the old October peak at $7.15 over the next 2 to 4 weeks, i.e. by the end of April. Next up is a rather famous name, which has been doing rather well of late, Dell Technologies, and here rising trend channel after the in the wake of the gap higher that we had basically at the turn of the month, turn of March rather, and looking towards the $140 area, while we're above recent support here around $110. So hopefully Dell will continue its recent stellar run. Moving on to another near-term winner, we hope, and here it is in the form of drilling tools. Here the 50-day line rising, so breaking near-term resistance around $3.40, and above that we're looking for as high as $5.60 by the end of this month, within that rising trend channel which has been in place since the end of August. Next up is a stock which we were covering quite recently, and it's back again now. Hopefully we're on a better bull run for GSI Technology. Here you can see that we've got this rising trend channel in place since August, top of the channel there up to $6, and we're looking for that the longer we stay above recent resistance around the $4 level. That was the peak just at the end of March. It's good to see Highcroft back on the front foot, so to speak, and for quite a long time. Here you can see that we've had a vertical move over the last couple of days, rising trend channel from September heading towards $4.70, and we're looking for that while we're above the turn of the year resistance for the shares at $3, so reasonably good risk reward even after the latest gains there. The next stock is one which has been quite interesting from a technical perspective, Kid Pick. Here we had the spike through $10 basically in the middle of last month. We've been looking for an end-of-day close above the resistance line there from back in August around $5.50. Haven't quite managed it. We had a spike through that zone yesterday, but $5.50 is the magic number above that on an end-of-day close basis, and we are looking for the shares to retest the $10 area over the 2 to 4 weeks after that particular event. On to one of the best rises of the recent past, which is Nexalin Technology, and here you can see why, gapping higher and then following through on that gap. Here we've had a very wide broadening triangle that's been in place since basically the end of 2022. Top of that triangle currently pointing to $4, which is what we're looking for by the end of this month, while we're above the old resistance on the way down around $2.40. So above $2.40, looking for $4 there at Nexalin. Moving on to the last three, and first one is the interestingly named Stereo Taxis. Here we've got a rising trend channel which has been in place since way back at the end of 2022. Recently in the past, we've seen these shares bounce off the rising 50-day line, currently at $2.50, and the view is that the longer we stay above $2.50, the greater the chance of move to $4.20 at that late 2022 resistance line projection. Could see that target hit by the end of April. Rather famous name coming up next, and here it's interesting that Tesla, despite being battered and bruised, has still managed to stay within that falling trend channel, at least for now. We managed to fail at that resistance line there from back in December, which was obviously disappointing, but holding on to the floor of that channel, which is nominally around the $165 level. So let's see if we can stay above that. The current view is that while we're above 165, then there could be a rally back to 180. Otherwise, looks like we'll have to test the old April 2023 support zone towards the low 150s, which I suppose at the moment would appear to be the most likely scenario. Finishing off with VERA, and here you can see a beautiful gap higher for the shares through the 50-day moving average. Rising trend channel there since November, top of the channel heading to $16. We're looking for that by the end of April, especially while we remain above the $13 level, which we managed to do yesterday. Ideally, there's no end-of-day close back below yesterday's open area around $12. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.